So Modern Warfare 2022 just got revealed. We got the world reveal, like the first ever trailer, and then we got one campaign mission that wasn't played all the way through, but we got that I believe yesterday, and the reveal trailer back on June 8th. And so I figured, being an avid Call of Duty fan like myself, I should sit here and try to curate some of my thoughts, give you guys what I'm thinking, and hopefully try to have an optimistic outlook once again on the next year's Call of Duty. Now, a little forewarning, there were a lot of content creators that actually got a little bit more access to the game. They saw like a presentation. I think they had a little more talks with Activision, kind of like about some of the new things that they're adding, the kind of like game direction that Activision took for this. By Activision, obviously I mean all the developers under them making this. So I don't have a first-hand look at that, but I watch pretty much all those content creators for the most part, so I kind of took in their ideas, what they were talking about. So I'm going to try to take that information and kind of formulate my opinion on the next Call of Duty. I also just want to mention towards the end, I'll probably talk about some of the new things. As you can see, new setup, new background. I know, pretty nice. And then also kind of like where I'm at with Vanguard and content, as always. So I kind of wanted to break this down into like three-ish parts. I was going to first talk about kind of like the reveal and campaign, and then multiplayer / how I'm feeling about Warzone 2. As you guys know, I'm not a big Warzone guy anyway, but it's crucial to talk about Warzone 2 in the sense of how multiplayer is going to work. So first, just kind of talking about the reveal. Not too much to say about it. I mean, pretty basic reveal. We got a trailer, showed us bits of the campaign, as they usually do, because they don't want to reveal too much about multiplayer. They want to kind of keep that a nice little secret, and then, you know, really throw it at you to get hype built up. But just like the Modern Warfare campaign, super beautiful graphics. I mean, every like little fucking raindrop was crisp. All right, it was beautiful. Obviously it's gonna look like shit because I'm on last gen, and then I also have a Series X Xbox, but compared to people on PC, my game's gonna look like poo-poo, but we ain't worrying about it, okay? Yeah, campaign looks amazing. The mechanics looked really good. Hearing the guns, that's something that FaZe Jev talked a lot about. The gun sounds, and Noah J I think even touched on it. Like, they're meaty. They sound hard hitting, as if I'm actually there fucking shooting that gun. It's crazy. There was a clip where I think they shot like the Vector. Oh, that was another thing. They brought back the Vector for sure. We saw that in the campaign mission. And then I think they brought back the ACR. They might have, I don't know. Oh, and I saw a P90. There was a clip like right when they got to the top of the ladder on that like mission, and I think I saw the P90. I don't know for sure, but yeah, those are the three guns that I think they brought back. No intervention. I'm sure they're saving it, and it's going to be a big thing, but I need it, okay? I need it. You see me? Sniping has been so hard recently. Just give it to me, please. But with all that aside, yeah, mission looked great. The campaign, really high hopes for it. I'm not too invested in the storyline. I just want something that feels very cinematic, and I think Modern Warfare is going to deliver that every single time. Oh, how did I forget to touch on this? My favorite bit of the whole thing was if you guys don't remember, Optic H actually reminded me of this. Back when they revealed Ghost, they talked a lot about the fish AI. You know, there was like a water mission. If you swim towards the fish, they like run away from you, because that's what fish do. And there was like a whole thing on the fish AI. Well, in this game, at Games Fest, I think, the Summer Games Fest live stream, they talked like 5 minutes about the water AI. Essentially like how the water would rock the boat, and as you go into the water and go deeper, like it acts like real water. There's nothing for me to really say. I mean, it's cool. I'm probably not going to be going in it or paying that much attention, but I just thought it was funny that they brought up the water AI after doing the fish AI thing. Now getting into like the real, like what I'm worried about, excited about, it's the multiplayer. So as everyone knows, they're coming out with Warzone 2.0. I think that's the official name for it. And after watching FaZe Jev's video, they talked a lot about new movement. They went heavy on the movement. I'm assuming to create that skill gap that you can only increase so much in Warzone, but I don't know about you guys. Watching these Warzone clips, the skill gap's already there. I didn't think they needed to add new movement and everything, but it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So the new movement, from what I've heard, like the way that you would mantle up onto a ledge, and like if you accidentally mantled up, you would just get killed and that was it. There's apparently some way to like stop mid-mantle, or like kind of just hold on to it and you can shoot over, or you can just hold on to all these corners now, almost as if like say you jump from a building all the way to the other one and you don't make it in the window to do your regular mantle, you can like grab on to like the ledge or something like that and crawl over it. That's what it sounded like. I don't know if that's the actuality of it. I wasn't there during the presentation. I don't know these things, but that's what it was sounding like. Again, with the water mechanics, I think in Warzone 2 are going to be kind of used as like an scapegoat. You can run in there, the deeper you go, the murkier it gets, so you can kind of like hide in the water a little bit. Like Jeff said, there was already people on Twitter talking about water slide canceling and shit. Sliding's back. We saw that in the campaign gameplay, so we know that that's back. My biggest issue with the game, and this is really all I have to touch on, because a lot of the things that they're building is meant to be implemented in Warzone and kind of in multiplayer as well, from what it sounds like. The new movement mechanics sound very Warzone. They sound like they're going to make a big skill gap, which I'm scared of because it's going to bleed into multiplayer. And then the other thing that I was really scared about is the new Gunsmith. I think they're still calling it the Gunsmith. So Jev talked about it. You can still apply 10 attachments to your gun. Like there's 10 different slots, just like in Vanguard, Modern Warfare, Cold War, I think too. There's 10 different spots that you can apply attachment on the gun. But the screenshot that he saw, he said he think it was an MP5, so we probably got the MP5 back. He was saying that in the little attachment box it said 3 of 3 equipped. Now my speculation on this is that by default you're going to be able to have 3 different attachments, just like in regular Call of Duty. You could have like an optic attached, or maybe like a foregrip, or like a stock, or an extended mag, a different barrel, something like that. And you can have 3 of those. You're limited to 3. But I'm thinking that maybe there's a perk or something that like takes away your secondary or takes away like your other perks. That way you can apply more attachments. I'm hoping that's how it is, because that's kind of like a pick 10 system, and I really liked that back in the older Call of Duties, but I don't know for sure. Brings me to my next point. That would be a simplistic route to go, which is a very good thing. Infinity Ward and Activision talked about wanting to make this game more accessible to every kind of player. So whether you're a camper, I know they use a different word for camper, but come on, we ain't buying it, boys. You camping, get over it. For the rushers, and I doubt they touched on the quick scopers, but this small community here is still holding on, all right? We need something. But yeah, so they wanted to make the game very accessible to every single type of player, and they wanted to make it simplistic. Modern Warfare is very overly complicated with the realism. Every building had like 29 doors and 30 windows. And they wanted to simple that and like dumb it down, kind of like the more, what I'm hoping is arcadey kind of Call of Duty, like I don't know, like the Modern Warfare 2s, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, you know, everything, it's not random. You kind of know what's going to happen. You know the flow of the map, and that was the intention, I think, behind the whole simplistic Call of Duty thing. My biggest problem with that, however, is talking about the new mechanics that they're adding. That already adds a layer of complexity to the game. And then the Gunsmith possibility, because I didn't even touch on this yet. From what I heard from Jev, there is apparently different lengths of each barrel that you can have on. So what that means is, say you have a long barrel, right? Increases your range, lowers your recoil, but I don't know that, but like lowers your fire rate or something like that, right? There's different lengths of that long barrel. There'll be like a 90% of that long barrel, an 80, a 70, you know, just lengths of that long barrel. So for one attachment, there might be like 10 different versions of it. With that being said, if they take that ideology to every single attachment, like a foregrip, but like it's a different grip tape on the certain foregrip, and stuff like that, that adds like just infinite Gunsmith possibilities, which for some players is amazing. I know for Warzone, trying to find the new meta, everyone's gonna have their video on it, it's gonna be great. But for anybody who's just like a casual, they just want to hop in and not have to look up a video on how to play, it's gonna be catastrophic. Which would be fine if their idea was more realism and just trying to make a very like statistic numerical game. But if they're going back to that more simplistic, widely available game for everybody, I don't think that that's the best call. Again, I think that's because the Warzone mechanic, they're like Warzone 2, they're trying to bleed that into multiplayer or vice versa, and I don't think it's good. I think the best thing that they could have done is maybe separated Warzone into its own game development and then the multiplayer in its own game development. That way the mechanics didn't clash, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. That being said, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think they're gonna add a lot of these things, but just like in Modern Warfare or Vanguard, like, people are gonna find the meta pretty quickly and they're just gonna kind of rock with that. And like, yeah, the mechanics will be there for like maybe some funny clips, or just like for messing around and like making like the worst gun or like the highest recoil gun or something. I don't think it's gonna be too crucial to how the game actually plays. That's what I'm hoping for. The game looks really solid and I'm really optimistic for it. They even said that there's not going to be too many futuristic things. It's going to be very modern, you know, modern warfare. Just anything that you would see in today's, I guess, military usage, that's what they're going for. There's not much more to say about the game until we get some kind of multiplayer reveal. I don't know when it's going to happen. Game comes out October 28th, so I'm hoping in like the next 2-3 months maybe we'll get something, but that's kind of like my thoughts on Modern Warfare 2 so far. I'm really excited for it. I know I kind of just dragged on it a lot, but it's super easy to point out like our favorite parts. You know, like the graphics are going to be great. They're going to make it more simple. They focused a lot on map design. Oh, that was another thing I completely forgot to touch on. Map design for this, I think they learned a lot from Modern Warfare 2019. They said that there are going to be bigger maps that are going to be in Warzone, just like the Ground War game mode. But I think they learned a little bit more on how to build them, because the ones for the Ground War mode, they were just all over the place. They were huge. They had a ton of vehicles, which I'm not going to be playing these anyway, maybe for like camo challenges, but I'm not a fan of all the vehicles. I'm not a fan of these giant maps, but they sound like they know what they're doing a little bit better. When it comes to the 6v6 maps, which is what I'm interested in, because I'm going to be quick scoping, going for feeds. I need those smaller maps with that more chaotic play style. I'm hoping that they are a lot better than the ones in Modern Warfare 2019, because towards the tail end of 2019, they kind of got a little bit better of a grasp on how to make the maps just based on how the players like to play. A lot of the maps were smaller and they remastered a few of the smaller maps, and overall I think those played a lot better than what the game originally dropped with all the doors, Vanguard's breakables, they even said they're not going to include. So they tried a lot of stuff out in 2019 and in Vanguard, and it looks like they're removing most of it. I'm pretty sure doors are coming back, but that's inevitable at this point, I think. I hope they're not, but they might be. But lastly, I kind of just want to talk about when it comes to the new background, I literally just moved my camera. Usually you guys are looking at the background over there, but this time I faced it to this wall because I just thought it looked a little bit better and more inviting. And then also for Vanguard, for some reason I'm still playing Vanguard, but I'm going for the Mastery Camo still. I've done it in every Call of Duty. I've made a stupid commitment, so expect a video on that maybe soon. I don't know. I'm like trying to finish up the assault rifles right now. I'm on break for the summer, so I should have a lot of time to grind this out, but yeah, I figured I'd just give you guys a little update on that as well. Okay, so yeah, that was a lot to touch on. Campaign looks amazing. Multiplayer, a little bit nervous, but I'm extremely optimistic for it just because they have so much content to learn on, and it seems like they're really firing on all cylinders for this one. It seems like they're passionate about a project, and it seems like we're going to be in for a really good year. I'm sure there's a few things that I probably forgot to touch on in this, but I'll probably make another follow-up video when we actually get a multiplayer reveal. But until then, hopefully you guys enjoyed my thoughts. If you guys have any comments or questions about my thoughts, or you just want to talk about the game or something like that, drop it in the comments below. I've been going all over Twitter, so like there's a lot of information that I know. I have Charlie and Tell notifications coming through like every 4 minutes. But yeah, just want to make a quick little video kind of talking about how I felt about the new Call of Duty. I'm excited. I'm very optimistic for it, as I am every year, but I think this is really going to be, I think it's going to be a good one. Definitely for content. It looks like the content team's going crazy just based on what we've seen so far for like the, I think it's the Vault Edition. It's like the higher price one. And yeah, so like I said, I'll probably make a follow-up video when the new trailer comes out for multiplayer. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed, and catch you in the next one. It's been your boy Hughes. Peace.